Good morning. I just feel moved today. I don't want to sound too mysterious, but I just felt moved today to talk about the Enochian 30 Aethers and the levels of consciousness associated with them, and to bring up the subject because a lot of people misunderstand uh, what it's all about, and to tell you the truth, I can't tell you that I understand what it's all about. Okay, but anyway, I was going through the beautiful commentaries on the Vision and the Voice, and it occurred to me that now's a good time to share this uh, on my morning readings. First of all, when we think about this map of consciousness from your head to Godhead, uh, very often Hermetic Kabbalist magicians see things in terms of the raising of the consciousness along a roadmap of the tree of life. Okay, 10 major landmarks of frequencies of consciousness that you awaken to until you reaching the top. It's the big wake up, number one, when we realize we've been each other all along. Enochian magic is looking at that same uh, complete band of consciousness, only it looks at it broken up in different facets. And so we're looking at the same thing with different glasses on. Okay, when you look at the totality of consciousness with your Kabbalah glasses on, you see a tree of life and the subdivisions of that. But when you look at it with your Enochian glasses on, you see it broken up into 30 major sections of consciousness. And those are called the Aethers, or heavens, Enochian heavens. But even before that, we have what is termed in modern Enochian magic the elemental universe. And it's represented by four what the Golden Dawn called elemental tablets of fire, water, air, and earth. And there are a set of angelic calls that were dictated to Dee and Kelly under amazing circumstances. And these series of calls, when you recite them, set up a resonance in your brain, in your soul. And that resonance is like a particular vibratory bell that rings. And while it is still ringing in your consciousness, at least part of you is temporarily raised to that level of consciousness. And while you're there, if you're passive and observant enough, the new things that are running through your mind while that bell is still ringing is your particular vision of that level of consciousness. Okay, it's not that it's going to last forever at the moment, but you get a peek at that level of consciousness, or at least as much as you can enter into with your current baggage of things that are keeping you from totally waking up to that level. So in other words, when you intone the specific call that resonates to that particular level, you get yourself a little vision. And that little vision tells you something about yourself in a language of images that you understand. Doesn't have to be understandable to anybody else, but it's a language, it's your own language, it's your own vocabulary of visual languages. And you get really good at it, okay? With practice, you get very good at it. And you start to connect and observe what is going through your mind in a process called scrying, or traveling in the spirit vision. And a little vignette or play happens. And that play is peopled with spirit characters who you can contact. And in the system, they actually have names. But just going back to what we can take care of in the 15 minutes we've got today. In the very center of this system is this elemental world. This is the world we, when we get in the car and bump our head on the car door, that's where we are. Fire, water, air, and earth. And there are literally, technically, 49 of these Enochian calls, or frequencies, bells, tones of bells we can read. Enochians just love 49, and they love 7 and things like that. But one of these calls, the very first one, which we could actually call 0, is unexpressed, and we are totally unsure what that unexpressed first call is. It just drove D crazy that they wouldn't tell him. My personal opinion is the first unexpressed call has something to do with that round table of Nalvage. But that's just Lon speculating in his ignorance. But anyway, so we're left with 48 keys, or 48 calls. And the very first call opens up the Tablet of Union, which is made up of the aces and the court cards. Okay, that's how you'd express it in the flashcards of tarot. So the first call opens up this whole area right here. And the second call would open up the Tablet of Union, which is the first column of the Tablet of Union, which would be like the master column, and that would be that first column, EHNB. Now we put the rest of our court cards over here to fill out the rest of the Tablet of Union. So the second call calls this angel right here, who is like the archangel of archangels. That's EHNB. And all the rest of the calls open up subangles or subsections of each of those elemental tablets. So there'd be 16 court cards left. Okay, so this would be the water of water, air of water, earth of water. Get where I'm going? And maybe someday we'll get into that in more pleasant detail. But what I'm getting at this morning, and I'm not getting to it very fast, is the 19th call, okay, is out of that sequence. So calls 1 through 18 take care of that elemental universe, that square thing in the middle. And if you can imagine, around that are 30 consecutive or rings, concentric rings, okay. And those are represent the heavens. And they're more than just flat rings. Okay, this is a sphere we're talking about, and in the center is the cube, and the cube is the elemental tablets and the tablet of union and everything else. But around that, like 30 layers of a glass onion, are these heavens. That's how you're picturing mine. And each of those heavens are a level of consciousness. And there is one call that opens up each one of those heavens. And the only difference between call number 30 and call number 29 and 28 and 20 is one word in the opening sentence of that angelic call. And that's the name of the Aether itself. So when you open up the 30th Aether, you start off with by saying Madrias dies prof tex. And that tex is the name of the 30th Aether. But the 29th Aether is called Ri, R-I-I. And you would say Madrias dies prof Ri. That's the only difference. And then you go on with the call. You recite the call, sit passively for a while to scry, or you can, if you're a great scryer or a crystal ball gazer, just do what you do, okay? But if you don't know what to do or have never done anything like this before, you could just sit quietly and observe, passively observe what goes on in your mind in the afterglow of the recitation of that call. So, over the years, that call, the call is translated into English, and I'm going to read you the translation as the Golden Dawn and Aleister Crowley first started to use it, because this is how Dee and Kelly first in their workings. This is the translation that Kelly told Dee it was in English. O ye heavens which dwell in the, if it's the first Aether, it's called Lil. Okay. O you heavens which dwell in the first Aether, ye are mighty in the parts of the earth, and execute the judgment of the highest. Unto you it is said, behold the face of your God, the beginning of comfort, whose eyes are the brightness of the heavens, which provided for you the government of the earth and her unspeakable varieties, furnishing you with the power of understanding to dispose all things according to the providence of him that sitteth on the holy throne, and rose up in the beginning, saying, the earth, let her be governed by her parts, and let there be division in her, that the glory of her may always be drunken and vexed in itself. Her course let it run with the heavens, and as a handmaid, let her serve them. One season, let it confound another, and let there be no creature upon or within her the same. All her members, let them differ in their qualities, and let there be no creature equal with another. The reasonable creatures of the earth and man, let them vex and weed out one another, and their dwelling places, let them forget their names. The work of man and his pomp, let them be defaced. His buildings, let them be caves for beasts of the field. Confound her understanding with darkness. For why? It repenteth me that I made man. One, while let her be known, and another while a stranger, because she is the bed of an harlot, and the dwelling place of him that is fallen. O ye heavens, arise. The lower heavens beneath you, let them serve you. Govern those that govern. Cast down such as fall. Bring forth with those that increase. And destroy the rotten. That no place let it remain one in number. Add and diminish until the stars be numbered. Arise, move and appear before the covenant of his mouth, which he has sworn unto us in his justice. Open the mysteries of your creation, and make us partakers of undefiled knowledge. Now that translation was delivered and compiled after the angelic version of that call was given to Dee and Kelly. So in other words, they got this incredibly beautiful call in the angelic tongue, and then they were given the translation. And as it is with all sorts of Enochian stuff, it blows everybody's mind, because when things gets translated into English, everything is consistent with a real live language. The angelic language is a real live language, and in all 30 within all 18 of these calls, all 19 of these calls, the English translates beautifully. But that's a strange thing. It's not a conjuration per se. We're not, okay, it's almost like God or the Creator talking about creation itself, including the warts and the bad stuff. Okay, let's push ahead from 1583 and go all the way up to past the Golden Dawn, which more or less took that as orthodoxy, and moved to Aleister Crowley, who was using the Enochian system as a measuring rod, I guess you could say, for his own personal initiatory awakening. And that's what makes Crowley's material so valuable to us, because we get to eavesdrop on how one magician projected the Enochian structure, the Enochian matrix, if you will, upon his own initiatory journey. And here is how, when he got to the second Aether, the second to the highest Aether, and he did the call to get himself, squeeze himself into that super high Aether, he had a vision, and it's in the vision in the voice. But part of the information he got was the translation, or at least an explanation of the translation of the call of the 30 Aethers. And that's what I'd like to read to you this morning. This is the translation of the call of the Aether. O ye heavens which dwell in the first Aether, and are mighty in the parts of the earth, and execute therein the judgment of the highest. To you it is said, behold the face of your God, the beginning of comfort, whose eyes are the brightness of the heavens, which provided you for the government of the earth and her unspeakable variety, furnishing you with the power of understanding, that ye might dispose all things according to the foresight of him that sitteth on the holy throne. and rose up in the beginning, saying, the earth, let her be governed by her parts. And in parentheses, explanations start to come. The earth, let her be governed by her parts. This is the prostitution of Babylon to Pan. Now, I digress to say we're starting to talk about above the abyss, supernal triad consciousness here. And let there be division in her. And the comment is, the formation of the many from the one. And let there be a division in her. Get it? That her glory may be always ecstasy and irritation of orgasm. Her course, let it round with the heavens. That is, let her way be always harmonious with heaven. And as a handmaid, let her serve them. That is, the Virgin of eternity climbing into the bed of chaos. Okay, chaos is a level of consciousness associated with the second Sephirah, Hokmah. One season, let it confound another. That is, let there be unwearying variety of predicates. And let there be no creature upon her or within her the same. That is, let there be an unwearying variety of subjects. All her members, let them differ in their qualities, and let there be no one creature equal with another. For if there were any duplications or omissions, there would be no perfection of the whole. The reasonable creatures of the earth and men, let them vex and weed out one another. Okay, that always disturbs people. This is the destruction of reason by internecine conflicts in the course of redemption. And their dwelling places, let them forget their names. This is the arising of Nemo. Nemo is master of the temple. Or at least one aspect of the supernal triad awakening. The work of man in his pomp, let them be defaced. That is, in the great work, man must lose his personality. His building, let it be cave for the beasts of the field. His building, meaning the vault of the adepts, and the cave is the cave of the mountain Abiagnus. And the beast is he upon whom Babylon rideth, and the field is the supernal Eden. Confound her understanding with darkness. This sentence is explained by what has been said concerning Bina. For why? It rejoiceth me concerning the virgin and the man. This is D. and Kelly translated this, for why? It repenteth me that I made man. But this angel is telling Crowley, for why? It rejoiceth me concerning the virgin and the man. Now, Crowley's footnote says, in Kelly's original, it repenteth me that I made man, Kelly was in constant trouble with his education as an Orthodox Christian, and Dee forced him to reject the true messengers whose discord implied pantheism. You got to remember that there were people putting pen to paper, human, flawed people. Kelly did not understand this call at all, and he would not believe that the sentence was written so, for it seemed to contradict the rest of the call, so he altered it. One while let her be known, and another while a stranger. That is the mystery of the Holy One being the same, at the same time identical with everything and apart from it. Because she is the bed of an harlot in the dwelling place of him that is fallen. That is that mystery which was revealed in the last Aether, the universe being as it were a garden wherein the holy ones may take their pleasure. O ye heavens, arise, the lower heavens beneath you, let them serve you. This is a command for the whole of things to join in universal rapture. Govern those that govern, cast down such as fall, bring forth those that increase and destroy the rotten. This means that everything shall take its own pleasure in its own way. No place let it remain one in one number. No place, quote, no place, is the infinite Ain. Ain, of Ein Sof, Ain. Let it remain in one number. That is, let it be concentrated in Kether. Add and diminish until the stars be numbered. It is the mystery of the Logos being formulated by the Kabbalah, because the stars are all letters of the holy alphabet, as it was said in the former Aether. Arise, move, and appear before the covenant of his mouth, which he hath shown unto us in his justice. The covenant is the letter Aleph. His mouth, Pei, his justice, Lamed, and all of these add up again to Aleph. That's how Aleph is spelled. So that it is the letter Aleph, which is 0, thus symbolizing the circles of eternity, that he calleth them forth. But men thought that Aleph was the initial of Ar, A-R-R, which means cursing, so that it was really the initial of Achad, unity, and Aheba, love, so that it was the most horrible and wicked blasphemy of the blackest of all the black brothers to begin Bereshit with the letter Bet. I get he's making a comment here. And the letter Bait with the letter of the magician. Yet it is by this simple device he hath created the whole illusion of sorrow. We're finishing up here. Open up the mysteries of your creation and make us partakers in undefiled knowledge. Okay, undefiled knowledge is the word Yad Namad. And it's not the ordinary word for knowledge. It's a word of 8 letters, which is the secret name of God summarized in the letter Chet, for which they see the Aether corresponding to that letter in the 12th Aether. Okay. That's Crowley's comment on that. And I know we're just how far, we've gone a half hour already. This will only take a second. I'm going to read the 30th Aether, the call of the Aethers, and I'll just do the one for text, the nice low one, but I'm going to do it in the Enochian language, or at least my best pronunciation of it. And if you would like, I don't want to hypnotize people over the internet, but you might just want to relax. And I'll read the Enochian version of what we've just been discussing. Madrias dies prof tex. Kis Mikao se nerkaosgo Officis balsestrasiada, non kagohulim, mikma adoyan mad, yaud bliorb. Saba uana kis luciftias peripsal. Dies abresa noms ni taib, kaosgi util bad fat damplos. Tuat nons gi mikal zoma el raz taflo marbiari ido ego. Or tor zop yaudaf kohol. Kausga tabiord senir od Christios il pobo. Il poil tiobo. Bas dir til noan baidors bado de remnis ilna. El zeptil panci paripsax. Ota quels buapes el nibim ucho simp. Od Christios. Actol ton mirque tiobo lelel ton pem dils mo aspian. Od Christios. Agelto ton paracas simp. Cordzis, dod palod fifis, els nenad, od varst bams o mawas, conisbra o avavax tanug. Ors catibel noas mitabjes livithmon, unci optibelors, baglei, muwa, old cordzis. El capimau ixo maxip od caco casab gasse beglen pi tianta a Babylon od farch tiluk vovim. Madriax torzu o adriax o rocha abro apri tabiori prior zartabas adre pencus te dubix. Iol cam priasiar coasi or od quas queting. Repair pax agocor. Umel od priza kakoya yoi fecont. Tozu, zakar. Od zamra nas psipsibut mone, diasurzas tia baltan. Odo sikleque, odo zazma plapli, yad namad. And that was the call of the 30th Aether. There are 4 governors that represent 4 major aspects of this lowest of the Aethers. All the other Aethers just have 3 governors, but this one's so close to that elemental world of 4 that it has 4 governors. Taongla, Advorpt, Jimnimd, and Dazanal. And that's where we'll leave it for today. I'm not sure if we're going to continue with Enochian tomorrow. I just felt in an Enochian mood because I think I'm going to be doing another series of Enochian workshops for my friends in China. So that'll be coming up a little later toward the end of the year. Anyway, continue to be good to yourself and be good to each other. And we hope to see you tomorrow. Do what thou wilt shall be the whole of the law. Love is the law, love under will.